What's up, y'all? Today I want to share with you guys one of my favorite books in 2022, and it's called The 10 Pillars of Wealth by Alex Becker, Mindsets of the World's Richest People. Now, I recently found Alex Becker through YouTube on my feed and recommendations, and he's this entrepreneur, straight shooter, eccentric guy that just drops truth bombs. And I found out that he had a book that a lot of people had good reviews, so decided to audible it, and I love it. So I'm here today to share one of his pillars that I found very helpful, and I'm going to try to apply throughout the rest of 2022. And it's called focusing on what is type of problems versus and forgetting what if type of problems. Now, it's a slight difference, but a lot of the times I'm very guilty of thinking of what if this could be a problem. I plan, I strategize, and I get stuck in paralysis analysis because I'm thinking too much and I'm not taking enough action. Versus what is type of problem is focusing what's a problem at hand, how can I take action, and how can I actually reach to the next mistakes faster so that I can actually focus on improving on that mistake that's actually immediate to me right now versus theorizing in this future. Oh, what could potentially happen? And now, caveat, I am a big believer of beginning with the end in mind and actually knowing our end goals. But I do also believe that we could be taking more action so that the end goal will actually be more clear as well, and that we can actually get closer to it by focusing on the problem at hand. Now, Alex hammers in this concept through a fictitious story that I'm gonna paraphrase here, but really drives home the message. And it's a story of two car salesmen number one and car salesman number two. Both have the goal of making a killing in sales and getting after it. So car salesman number one focuses on what if type of problems. Car salesman number two focus on what is type of problems. So let's start out with car salesman number one. He starts off his first day thinking of what types of problems he could potentially run into. And he thinks about maybe they're going to ask me about a recent car defect that has been out there and what could potentially happen if they ask me about different specs. So he goes on and spends his whole first day researching about all these type of potential issues and actually does not talk to a single customer. Now, car salesman number two thinks about, hey, I need to make a sale today. I'm just going to go out there and I'm just going to go talk to a potential customer out there. And he goes out there and he gets shot down right away, and he goes back, why did that happen? Shoot, I need to work on my pitch. So he works on his pitch, goes out there, and he works on the pitch, and he actually is able to get through the first couple minutes, but he gets shot down with some objections. And he goes back to the drawing board and goes, what could I be doing better? Maybe I need to work on my objection handling so I can actually dig into the real pain the customer has versus trying to push my own agenda. So, after he works on it, he goes back out there, he crushes his pitch, he crushes his objection handling, and he gets almost to the finish line, and he gets some final closing objections and he misses the deal. And he goes back to the drawing board. How do I focus on closing deals at the very end and some last minute resistance? Goes back out there, goes through all the same things again, and he closes his first deal. And that was such a big, powerful thing because at the end of the day, now he has a tangible result. He made mistakes, but he actually focused on the actual problems at hand and was actually able to make a sale. Versus car salesman number one is still researching and has not actually talked to a single customer and has not made a sale at all. Now, fast forward through the story though, is that by the time car salesman number one realizes his problems, his actual problems, it's already too late. He's already too far behind in his quota that he can't really make it and he gets fired. Versus car salesman number two keeps on focusing on the problems at hand and keeps on leveling up and growing and actually crushes it through his sales career. Now, which of the two car salesmen would you want to be? Car salesman number one or car salesman number two? I think we all want to be car salesman number two. And this story really resonates because with anything in life, as I said, I kind of get stuck thoughts in my head. What's the best way to optimize this? What's the best strategy for this? And maybe even just for this YouTube channel, I sometimes think, how can I improve upon it? And maybe I should be thinking about how I can add visuals, how I can make it more, engaging. But at the end of the day, that's all good things to think about. But first things first, I need to be consistent in posting, right? Number one, am I consistent in posting? two, am I putting out there, creating content that I would find useful, because I personally also find it useful myself? And three, I don't know, am I just putting myself out there at the end of the day and just being authentic? So if I'm focusing on that in the first, and after maybe 3-6 months, then I can focus on other things at first. But first things first, I need to actually build the habit of creating content out there and just putting myself out there. So I know it's 2022 and a lot of people are just starting out in January. Maybe you have a lot of habits out there. Maybe it's you started a fitness habit. Maybe you started a reading habit. And maybe you're now thinking about, oh, paralysis analysis. What kind of workout should I be doing? Maybe should I be doing Kayla? Should I be doing a strong lifts? And that's maybe stopping you from actually just doing a workout at all, when maybe you should just be dialing it back and like, maybe I'm just gonna do a random YouTube workout for 5 minutes at home. Maybe I'm just gonna do a squat at home. That's it. And I'm just gonna be consistent with what I need to be consistent in. Or maybe it's reading a book and you're thinking about what book should I be reading, but maybe you should just pick up any book and just start reading, and then you can go pivot from there. Maybe you realize, I get bored from reading this book, I actually want to read something else. So whatever it is, as James Clear said, we need to actually standardize a habit first before we can optimize it. Meaning, we need to have such a base level, no matter how crappy that habit is, before we can actually make it better, and actually just be focusing on establishing the habit first. And Alex Becker wraps this whole concept of focusing on what is the actual problem at hand principle by actually reminding us that we just need to take action. By taking action, we get closer to our next mistake, and by getting closer to the next mistake, we will be closer to actual success. And he puts this in a beautiful way where a mistake is actually a lesson that will make us money in the future. Now that's a beautiful way to put it, because who doesn't like to make money? Who doesn't want to have more options in life? And that actually should motivate us all, that the sooner we fail, the sooner that we are closer to success. So with that being said, guys, I think we should just all think a little less and do a little more, and we can optimize later. So thanks for listening today, and until next time, peace.